Hey everyone, my name is Watchmaker, and welcome to a little bit different of a video from what I've been doing lately. A friend of mine made this really cool looking castle on a cloud here, and after seeing a couple of my builds, my friend asked if I could do some interior decorating for him. So I said yes and decided I would ask him if I could record it. And he said yes. So I'm going to go ahead and go through all of the rooms of this castle and decorate them for my friend. And we'll all check out the results together. Let's go see. Okay, so here we are in the castle. We're starting off at the entry hall. As you can see, I have a little sign that says entry hall right here. Right now, my friend is using this for storage, but we can go ahead and transform this into a nice entry hall. In here, I was told this was the lounge room. We've got kind of like a hot tub area, and then we also have an area for some sitting. If we head over here up the stairs, we have a hallway here, and we have a balcony that we can leave alone, I think. We're going to go over here. There's some stairs heading up. And in here, we have bedroom number 1. And then if we go in this direction, I think we have bedroom number 2. Ooh, we're really high up. And bedroom number 2, I think, is going to be over here. Great. And then if we head back down and over here, this is going to be the greenhouse. Right now, my friend's just using it to make some wheat, which is cool. And then if we head around the greenhouse area here and down here, we have this kind of far away secret area that has a staircase going down and a big long hallway here. I'm calling it an antechamber. I don't know if that's actually correct. But in here and in here, we have 2 little teeny tiny rooms that I think we're going to use to make potions, as you can see by that sign, and an enchanting room by that sign. Then over in this direction, we have the bedroom number 2. Or number 3, sorry. And then if we just head back down here, I think there's one last little thing down here, and that would be like a little wine cellar that we can kind of take a look at as well. And I think that is everything that we're going to be looking at. If we head back up these stairs, this leads to just a big long hallway in the back. And this is going to lead up into another bedroom. Okay, so we've got 4 bedrooms, I think. And we can start working on all of those. No problem. All right, so let's get started. Okay, so here's the entry hall. As you can see, I've cleared everything out from my friend, and I'm just taking a quick look at everything here to see what we got to work with. I'm thinking we can maybe put in a couple armor stands, maybe a banner right here. And yeah, let's just take a look at what we're going to end up doing, and hopefully we can figure something out. Okay, so here's what I came up with for the entry hall. We went with a deep stone, deep slate floor and a red carpet. We have our armor stands and some mud brick arches that go around the armor stands. I put up a couple nice little tables here and armor stands on the other side too, of course. We have our banner. I went with a flower banner. Looks kind of nice and fluffy since this is a castle on the clouds. We have the carpet here that obviously goes to both areas, goes to the lounge and also up the stairs. I hit a light inside of it. And yeah, I think that it actually turned out pretty well. We put a little bit of texturing on the ceiling, just a couple of little lanterns, again, just for the lighting effect. And I think that's about it. So let's move on to the lounge. Okay, so here is our lounge. We have a nice area over here that I think I'm going to use to make like a little dining area, maybe make a library in some areas, maybe some seating over here. And then we have the hot tub, which my friend already kind of put in. So I'm going to keep that, and I'm going to just kind of decorate around it, and we will see what we come up with. Big ceiling as well. So let's get started and see how this turns out. Okay, so here's a little bit of an update on the lounge area. If we take a little walk up here, you'll see I haven't really touched the sauna yet, but I did decorate this area. I just provided a nice little place to sit. I've never actually done this before. It's kind of cool. Put a plant on top, torch on the bottom. Looks pretty nice. I kept the painting here, and you'll see why in a second. I added some flowers in hanging from the ceiling. I thought that looked kind of cool, and of course some lanterns to make it look like it's lit up. This is the little dining area / library. I added a chandelier, and I added in some stained glass because it's a castle, and I feel like an area like this would kind of have some stained glass. I stuck with the color palette of the banner because I figured that that would probably also make sense. So that's where I am so far with decorating, but I did figure out something interesting. So this painting connects directly up to an antechamber back here. One of the ways that we could get to that bedroom that's really far away is by using this. So I'm actually thinking we're going to leave this here. We'll just put a ladder in there, and that can be our entrance to the really far away bedroom. Okay, so continuing on with the lounge area, I made a couple of little changes over here. I added some banners in. I think I added the lectern in. I'm not entirely sure. But the main area that I did over here is the sauna. I added a nice little decorative border. I replaced the stone with some calcite to make it look a little bit more ornate. I added in some, I guess I'd call them mosaics on the side here. A nice big picture window and some flowers. And the thing that I think is really cool is this like hanging garden that I added in up here. I really love it. I didn't think it would work, but it looks awesome. So I'm really happy with it, and I can't wait to keep moving on with this castle. I'm really enjoying it so far. Okay, so hey, we are back in my friend's castle, and I decided to start with the antechamber and the enchanting room and the potion room. They're kind of small, so I figured I would start out with them because they'd be a little bit more difficult, and they'd also maybe be a little quick. So the antechamber, I'm going to keep it pretty simple. I'm not going to really add anything else in here, really. I added in a couple of barrels and a lantern, but the areas that I really actually worked on were over here. I worked on the enchanting room, which you can see is very cramped. I lit it with only candles, so it would stay kind of like nice and dim and dark. I put a little bit of blood spatter on the floor because I figured maybe you're making like sacrifices to get your enchanting done. And this is a fully set up enchanting table. I thought it was, at least. Maybe something is in the way. Like maybe this candle is in the way. That was the problem. So it was just that candle. So it's fully enchanted. We've got a lectern, of course, so that we can do some reading in here since there's so many books. And let's see, what else do we have? In the potion room, I set it up so that you have the spider eye over here, and also just a cauldron and some potions. And I put a warp fungus because I thought it would be interesting to have some weird looking stuff in here. And then I put some frog lights in here as kind of like an artificial light. I figured that that might be something that like a potion room would have to grow weird things. The shelves, I went with scaffolding. I had another lectern, so we have our book of potions right over here. And then I added in this little guy, the pufferfish, so that we can extract poison from him and use him on potions. And then, of course, you know, every room like this has got to have a skull in it, right? So I just went with a wither skeleton skull because maybe they burned the skull at some point. But yeah, so that's what we got going on so far. Next up is the bedroom that's down here. The bedroom is over here. As you can see, it opens up a little bit, and it's quite empty right now. So I think I'm going to try to stick with like a motif of a very dank, dark, dungeony area. Like somebody's down here just to do research, and this is just where they need to crash at night. So we'll see how that turns out. Okay, so I think I've got this bedroom done. I kept it really empty, and I did also do a couple of things in here. One, I kept it really dank and dark because I feel like whoever's going to be down here is not going to need a lot of light. So we lit it with candles and one soul lantern in the middle. I hope that it's spawn proof because I think my friend plays in survival, but I'm not entirely sure it is. I'm going to drink this night vision potion real quick just so that we can get an idea of what things look like in here. Obviously, we've got this skull sensor over here. I figured that it would be a really neat looking specimen for the person to keep an eye on while they're sleeping at night. Random garbage represented by these dead fire coral fans. He's sleeping on a dead tube coral fan, which I thought was neat. I put a little bit of support in here so the room actually looks supported, and of course some cobwebs because whoever's down here isn't going to be taking care of where they're living because they're going to be too busy doing their experiments. So hopefully that one looks good. I'm going to call this one done because I wanted to keep it pretty simple. Obviously, he's got a little area to eat for there. And we're going to move on to the next room. Okay, so we're down to two last rooms. We've got this bedroom here, and then all the way up here next to the greenhouse. Whoops. We've got this bedroom over here. So we've got to decorate them. And then, of course, I think the last thing I'm going to do is this greenhouse because I think that we can make it look really, really cool. And I'm really excited to do it. But let's start with the two bedrooms that are left. And yeah, let's just get started. Okay, so this is the bedroom that's on the second floor, I think. I'm going to go for like a typical medieval style bedroom here. I'm going to try to go for like a canopy bed and maybe like a dresser and, you know, just kind of have maybe like a little chandelier type thing in the middle. Just kind of the normal thought that you would think of for a medieval style bedroom. It's a little bit small, but I think we can manage. Let's give it a shot. Okay, so here's bedroom number one. I went with a mangrove floor, and then I waterlogged some mangrove planks to be able to put in a nice blue carpet using some coral. And then I made a dresser. This is a big dresser, so the doors open up, but there's nothing behind them, of course. I tried to make it look as ornate as I could for the space that I had. And I figured in the center here, we'd put these two sea lanterns to act as a mirror. Because I feel like that's kind of how a lot of wardrobes work in castles. They have like a mirror in the center, and then the dressing area is off to the side. I don't know. I made a canopy bed. It's not super big, but I went with the space that I had. So canopy bed using some trapdoors and some banners. I went with a cyan bed because I figured that I needed a little bit of change of color from just the light blue. So there's a few different shades of blue in here, as you can see. I did a chandelier, a very small one. It's not connected here, but I did try to make it look like from this angle it was connected because the birch is just super thick, but I couldn't use any iron bars because then it ended up looking super awkward. I made a little desk with some candles and our orchid, which seems to be a theme in this castle, making the orchids, all just dark oak trapdoors. Nice book and quill so that it looks like people are like writing little notes and letters and stuff. And then just a few pictures here and there. I added in some trapdoors here just to fill in that wall. Armor stand here, and then buttons on the top here, just to give a little texture to the room. And I think that ended up working out pretty well. It looks pretty nice to me. And we can move on to the next bedroom. So let's go see. Okay, next bedroom. So this bedroom here is about the same size as the one that I just did. It is outside next to the greenhouse, though. So I think what I want to do is I want to kind of bring the greenhouse into this bedroom. I want it to be very floral, very open. What I'm hoping is that up here, let's get a lantern or a light or something. A torch, maybe. That would be helpful. And I have dynamic lighting, so I can use that. Yeah, so what I'm thinking is we open up this ceiling because this is all solid. And what I'll do is I will open this up as much as I possibly can so that I can make a nice, big, bright, deep ceiling so that I can hang plants from it maybe and just make it really nice and bright and airy in here. You know, even though the floor of this room is a little cramped, the vertical of this room can be huge. And I think that's going to make for some really great looking artwork on the ceiling and coming down. So we will see what we can handle here, and I will be right back. Okay, so let's look at the greenhouse bedroom. This bedroom, like I said, I wanted to keep it full of life. So I've got a lot of flowers. I've got a lot of flower pots. I kept everything very light as much as I could. I even added a little fishy in here. Hello, fishy. So there's even more life in here, not just plants. Went with a moss carpet just to keep everything looking natural. And I went with a very simple bed and lectern because I put this on the ceiling. So I've always thought that blue ice mimicked the sky. Looks like little white fluffy clouds. So I went ahead and put that in the ceiling so that people who stay in this room would be able to look up at this, I guess you could call it a mosaic, and see like the sun and clouds and the sky, and it'd be really cool. And I even went with white flowers up here so that when you look up, there's just a little bit of a peak of white there to even mimic clouds some more. I spiraled some glow lichen up the sides here so that it would add a little bit of an interesting design element. It kind of draws your eye upward as you go. So I think that that's going to do it for this room, which means the next part is going to be this guy right here. And I do have some plans for this. I cannot wait to start. Let's get started right now. Okay, so I seem to have forgotten about a bedroom. So before we move on to the greenhouse, I am going to work on this bedroom here. This is secret bedroom number 2. So if we look here, we have our long hallway that we have here that is hidden behind the lounge that we decorated. So if we head in this direction, that's where the bedroom is. I kind of forgot that this existed for a few. So I'm going to go ahead and decorate this. I don't know what style I'm going to use here. It's a pretty decent sized room, honestly. So I think that I might go for something a little more ornate. Let's see. Yeah, we've got the sneaky room up here. Okay. And that's kind of cool too, because it can be kind of hidden, be a little creepy. So let's give this a shot and let's see what we come up with. Okay, so bedroom number 4, the regalist of the bedrooms. I went with purple because purple is very regal, and I kept everything really dark, like dark oak, and I kept that theme throughout. Even the chandelier is a bit dark, just because I wanted it to kind of feel, I don't know, expensive, kind of royal. You know, that's kind of just what I went for. So we got a big bed, canopy bed, of course, just like the one downstairs. But this one is much bigger and has like a headboard and a footrest. I did the same dresser that I did in the other bedroom. I have another desk, but this desk is bigger because this is a bigger room. with 2 flowers, just a book for reading, and a nice little picture. And then I have a dresser over here, like another dresser that's on the ground with a nice flowering azalea on the top of it. But what I think is really cool about this room is because we're underneath the sneaky, creepy room, if we try to open this up to get some clothes out of it, the sculpt goes off. So this room could almost feel like it's kind of haunted, like something's going on in this room in the background. But it's the most regal room in the house, so it looks really cool. And yeah, I think it came out really well. So with that out of the way, let's move on to the main event. Let's go to the greenhouse. Okay, so I'm done with the greenhouse, and I think it came out great, but let's take a look at it together, and you can tell me what you think. Here it is, right there. We've got a beautiful tree in the middle. We have a nice little lake going around the center with some life in it. You can see there's lily pads and drip leaves, not dripstone, drip leaves. And of course, we've got some cute little axolotls swimming around in there because I love me some axolotls. But let's take a walk inside. We have just flowers everywhere, so much life, so bright, so beautiful. I added in some spore blossoms just so we could get that particle effect. We have the cute little squeaks of the axolotls going. I did light this up with some sea pickles. We have all different kinds of flowers, and of course our flowering azaleas. The oak tree in the middle I made to look more like a willow tree. It came out pretty well. It didn't have a lot of room to work with. Not the fault of anybody but me, because I wanted a nice big tree, because I wanted it to really fill up the room. And I think it did. I think that when you look at it, yeah, there might be some room for improvement in my tree making skills, but I think it gets the point across really well. The flowers are absolutely great in here. So much color, so much life. Of course, went heavy on the orchids because that seems to be the theme of the castle. But yeah, that's the greenhouse. And I think with that, we are done. So everybody, thank you very much for going on this little journey with me. I have never decorated somebody else's build before, and I've never done most of the things that I've done before. I've never made a greenhouse like this. I've never really decorated bedrooms the way that I have. It's been quite a journey, and I really hope that everybody enjoyed this. And if you did, please make sure to hit the like button. And if you enjoy my content, please make sure to hit the subscribe button. It helps me so much, and I'm looking to really grow my channels. So if you could help me out, that would be great. Anyway, thank you again for dropping in. My name has been Watchmaker, and goodbye.